Is it really possible that Liverpool are having a striker dilemma issue with this current transfer that they're having? So, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Is it really possible that Liverpool could have a striker problem? A striker problem with the type of transfer that they've been having? Signing the likes of Jeremie Frimpong, just signing the likes of Florian Wirtz, and now agreeing a deal with a medical pending soon with Milos Kerkez. But is it possible that Liverpool could have a striker issue or dilemma that could maybe change the course of their transfer window for the rest of the summer? Now, we know about the reports that have been circulating all over social media, on YouTube platforms, all over the news, sporting world, ESPN FC, Sky Sports, everyone, that Liverpool sees Alexander Isak as their main target, right? And they also are very, very interested in Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga in Germany. But is it possible by not getting their main target that they're going to miss out on their second target? Is that possible? Because we know this season that has passed, Liverpool becoming champions, that their front four weren't really a front four. It was really a front three in Cody Gakpo, in Luis Diaz, and in Mohamed Salah. Darwin Núñez had a very suboptimal kind of season, and Diogo Jota was constantly injured and was unavailable. So if we're talking about strikers, Liverpool necessarily don't have a striker. They have wingers and persons that can play across the front line. And of course, the legend that is Mohamed Salah that will score all the goals. But if you are finding and signing a player like Florian Wirtz, you need a striker that is able to put balls in the back of the net.
Of course, bro.
You need a striker that will help you to get as much goals as possible. That takes the burden off Mohamed Salah, who is on the decline and is going into his twilight of his career. You need a striker that when Florian Wirtz is creating chances, that someone is there at the end of it to finish it off. And I'm pretty sure that you're not going to get that with Darwin Núñez. Now, if we're talking about Darwin Núñez as a striker, you who are Liverpool fans and those who are also other supporting clubs, and can let me know in the comments which team you support, is that Darwin Núñez is not necessarily the striker that you probably want to lead your line in a big six or top six club in the Premier League. With Liverpool buying him for 85 million in summer 2023, it didn't work out, unfortunately. There were moments and glimpses of promise. And the thing about being a fan of a club and seeing someone who works hard on the pitch, who will fly into tackles, who will press, who shows emotion and passion on the field, but does not translate that, particularly as a forward attacker, doesn't convert that into chances. It's really hard to look at your heart and competing with your head, because you're hoping that they're able to convert. But the problem is that there is a consistency and a pattern of not putting away chances, particularly with Darwin Núñez. And with reports coming out that Napoli are strongly linked with Darwin Núñez, and that also Saudi Arabia would love to get Darwin Núñez as well for at least 70 million. It kind of now gives a preamble or a preview into how Liverpool are planning to go about trying to get their striker. Now, again, as I mentioned previously, that Alexander Isak is their primary target. Alexander Isak is the one that they're looking because he fits the slot system. He's the one that is able to drift out wide as a winger, play as a winger, but really is a striker. His technical ability is very good. His ball IQ is off the charts. His conversion rate is one of the best in Europe. But the issue is that he's playing, and I'm not disrespecting Newcastle fans, he's playing for Newcastle, where he could be challenging for the league or challenging for the Champions League. And Liverpool want that to take that next evolution into what they want to become as the perfect team. Now, the question is, what if you don't get Alexander Isak? Now, you wonder, is it a case that Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes and Arne Slot, do they now say, let's consider the second option, who is Hugo Ekitike? Very, very promising young baller, very talented young baller. And if you're spending at least 70 to near 100 million pounds on, again, a prospective talent that could turn out into what you're looking for, but has not generated enough in terms of goal scoring, in terms of chances, in terms of conversion rates, like Alexander Isak, are you then saying that we'd rather take the risk? Or if you're going to do what you've done in summer 2017 with Virgil van Dijk when he was at Southampton, do you wait until his contract kind of runs down and then you pounce on the opportunity? There are so many questions that is asked, or I think are being asked from Liverpool within the club itself, as to what do we do? Do we work with what we have? Do we still sell Darwin Núñez and hold on to the money and then we spend that later to try and get Alexander Isak? Or is there a case that you look at it and say, we should spend at least 160 if we're negotiating, right? Because, again, the aim of Liverpool against to compete. You are one of the biggest clubs, possibly, arguably, one, if not the biggest club in England. And so you need top signings to validate that. And I think getting Alexander Isak helps with that. Now, you who watch football daily, who probably just watching this to find out what exactly am I listening to? It is the passion and the head knowledge between, do a club or a franchise, if you're in America or anywhere in the North American side, is it a case that a franchise looks at a player that is going to validate you being successful? That is going to put you over the edge to compete, whether in the NFL in the Super Bowl, either in the NBA when you're playing in the finals. He puts you over the edge. It's like KD going to the Golden State Warriors, and it just puts them over the edge and better than everybody else. You know that they're getting trophies. And I think that's the idea that Liverpool are looking for. Because, again, you're not just investing in now, you're investing in the future. And your return on investment has to be shown over a successive period of time. And I think that, my friend, is the striker dilemma that Liverpool face. Because it is possible that you could get Alexander Isak this transfer window and you could spend near £200 million. Or you could wait until the January transfer window and then pounce. Or you can wait till his contract runs down again into next year's summer. Then you pounce an opportunity and get that. But I think the striker dilemma issue is still one that is still raising eyebrows, that still has question marks over it, because where Liverpool are going and how their transfer business has been this summer. They've been A+ in getting the necessary replacement. They've gotten the creative footballer in Wirtz. They've gotten, not necessarily like for like in terms of trend, but they've gotten someone in Frimpong who is able to dribble out of passes and able to get into spaces and positions. And they're getting a replacement for Andy Robertson in Milos Kerkez, who is one of probably the best left back in the league. So you can let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Is it a striker dilemma? Am I overthinking things? But you guys, you can like, subscribe, share, comment. I really appreciate you guys. But until next time, peace.